America and our allies have made some real progress against ISIS this year, seizing their caliphate and gaining ground on the terrorist group elsewhere. But the latest report from an organization called Conflict Armament Research shows that our strategy against ISIS may have been less than perfect. CAR spent 3 years studying how ISIS acquired their weaponry, and while a majority of it originated from Russia and China, and of course Eastern Europe, a notable amount also came from the U.S. ISIS was found with these things ranging from an anti-tank missile to fresh ammunition that they got from U.S.-backed Syrian rebel forces. Now, in case this sounds familiar, the same thing basically happened in Afghanistan. We gave the Mujahideen weapons to fight the Soviets in the 80s, and they used those same weapons against us after 9/11. So is this just the byproduct of trying to defeat a group as evil as ISIS, or should America take a closer look at the forces we support militarily? Joining me now, Fox News strategic analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. I'll talk to you again. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
That's right.
The whole works.
All of it, every holiday, especially Christmas. So let's talk about this, because that's always a big fear for people who are opposed to any sort of military intervention, is that good weapons end up in the hands of bad people. Is there any way from stopping this? No,
because battlefields are messy places. And when you have a multi-sided civil war between irregular forces and multiple nationalities fought largely in urban areas, things get pretty confusing. And so what you have to do is, instead of trying to make this into a scandal, because it's not one, look at the end result. We had a very modest train and equip program to give weapons to certain Syrian rebel groups. What's the result? Well, the result is that the Islamic State Caliphate is gone, dead. That's what matters. But you will never, I mean, I'm sure the people that started this program, from the CIA and the ones that worked it through the Pentagon, they knew from the start that some weapons are going to fall into the hands of the bad guys, because on battlefields, your guys get killed too. Weapons get captured, they get surrendered, they get stolen.
All right,
and
so let me ask you this,
because it's just not a scandal.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, but also, you know, when you say that the battlefield is messy and we don't necessarily know who our allies are, they're shifting alliances, I think that's all the more reason to re-examine our foreign policy in the Middle East. But I also think you're right in that it's not as simple as people make it out to be. I guess my question is, we have technology that allows us to find our iPhones, and this may sound incredibly naive, but is there a way of equipping military weapons with the same sort of tracking devices and technology?
Well, yes, there's always a way, but do you really want to do that? Do you want to really spend that much money? The kind of weapons we used,
we're already spending $600 billion. Maybe we should spend it in better places.
Well, we weren't spending that much. We're spending a few million on these programs. And given the results of the destroyed caliphate, that's pretty good. But no,
it's good. I mean, we still have a problem of terror and these so-called lone wolves that are radicalized here and abroad and who want to do us great harm.
Yeah, but yes,
so
that's absolutely true.
We haven't taken care of the problem of radical Islam and its manifestation, because taking away the caliphate only scatters these freaks and knobs, and now Lord knows where they are.
Well, you know, you pay off your student loans one payment at a time. And really,
but then all of a sudden you got a mortgage and a gambling debt.
Yeah, and certainly the Russians have got some gambling debts too. But really, trying to turn this into some sort of scandal just doesn't work. We gave them a relative handful of weapons. Some of them went missing. It will always happen like that. And these are really small arms, light weapons, very few of them with any sophistication whatsoever. The bulk of the weapons ISIS got, they captured from the Iraqi army, from the Syrian army, or they bought on the black market. And 90% of them, as you observed, came from Russia, China, Eastern Europe. 3% of the weapons recovered from ISIS. And we've recovered a lot of weapons from ISIS. 3% were from NATO countries. That includes United States. those are pretty good odds.
Yeah, I mean,
given the
yes,
immensity of
considering
our
that
achievement.
97% came from elsewhere.
Yeah.
I don't trust the elsewhere. I don't trust the actors, but I still don't think that's justification for rampant interventionism. It's the one thing that I like about the president's foreign policy is that he said he doesn't want to get us into more of these costly and complex wars. Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, I have to go, but I do want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. I hope that you
too.
are standing under mistletoe at least 15 hours a day.
I carry the mistletoe with me.
Well done. All right. Thank you very much, Ralph Peters. Have a great
I might
night.
show up in New York. Be careful.
God. Okay, I'll be on the lookout. Security! Okay, thanks.